Okay, guys, so today we are going to discuss solving systems of equations. So in 8th grade, your focus was mainly on solving them. Algebra 1, the focus is you writing them from a word problem, which we practiced earlier. But sometimes they may want you to solve it after you write it. In solving systems of equation, normally the solution to a linear system is an ordered pair. But here's the important part. So normally the solution is an ordered pair. But here's some more scenarios. If the equations are the same, then you have infinite solutions. If the slopes are the same, you have no solution because you have parallel lines. So I'm going to write an example. Y equals 2x plus 7. Y equals 2x minus 4. This would be no solution. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. They're the same, so you have infinite solutions. Okay. So, what is the solution to this system of equations? Oops. Trying to get it to focus. Okay. So what is the solution to this system of equations? Well, we talked about it last week. The solution is the one point that satisfies both of the equations. So the equation of this line and the equation of this line. The solution that satisfies both is a solution, or the point at which they intersect. So negative 2, negative 1. Negative 2, negative 1. So D would be our solution. This point is negative 2, negative 1. Okay? Methods to solve. You can solve them by graphing. You can solve them by substitution. You can solve them by elimination. We are going to focus a lot on this because nobody's ever going to tell you exactly how to solve it. You're going to be able to solve it any way that you want. So, if you want to solve it by graphing, which is our focus, graphing, you have to be able to convert from standard form to slope-intercept form. It must be in slope-intercept form to graph it. The best time to use this method is if both equations are already in slope-intercept form, but you can use this method anytime if you want. Okay, so look here at our examples. These, both of them are in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to show you how to do this. You put y equals on your calculator. You type it in. 2x plus 1 negative 3x minus 4, and you hit graph. And you can see the point at which they are the same. Now, I need to know exactly what that point is. So I'm going to do second trace, and I'm going to find the intersection. So number 5. And it's going to tell me where on the first line and where on the second line. And it's like you're reading it left to right. So I want my leftmost point and my rightmost point. The intersection is negative 1, negative 1. That's my solution. I could have also graphed these on paper. So positive 1, and then I go up 1, 2 over 1. and then -4, and I go 3 over 1. And so when you graph it by hand, you don't get as accurate. But -1 is the answer. So let's look at this one. Both of these are not in slope-intercept form. This one is, but I can put this one into slope-intercept form. So if I have -4x minus 2y equals 6, I'm going to add 4x to both sides to put it into slope-intercept form. -2y equals 4x plus 6. And I'm going to divide by -2 all the way through. Now, here's the thing. I don't want you to reduce this. So you have y is equal to -4 over 2x minus 6 over 2. Notice we did not reduce any of this. So let's put both of these in our calculator. Clearing out my y1 and my y2. Okay, y1, it was already done for us. 2x plus 1. y2, it's a fraction. Alpha y equals, gives me my fraction, -4 over 2x minus alpha y equals, gives me my fraction option, 6 over 2. And then I want to graph them. So there's my graph. Second trace, I want to find the intersection. A point to the left on the first line and a point to the right on the second line. And my intersection is -1, -1. These are the same line. Okay. If you're not confident in solving equations, always use graphing. But let's solve for substitution, okay? Let's do it by solving for substitution. So this is if one of yours are in x equals or y equals. So in this example, y equals 3x plus 4. That's what y is equal to. So I'm going to substitute it in right there for y. So 3x plus 2, what is y? 3x plus 4 equals 8. I put this in for here. Okay? And then I just solve it. Well, that gives me x. So when my x is 0, I'm plugging this back in and I'm going to find f of 0. When my x is 0, then my y is 4. So my solution is 0, 4. Okay, let's try this one. This says x equals, so substitution is a good method. I'm substituting it in right there. So I have 3, 4y plus 3 minus 5y equals 9. So I'm solving for y. 12y plus 9, I just did distributive property, minus 5y equals 9. Notice both of these are on the same side of the river, so 12 minus 5 is 7. So 7y plus 9 equals 9. Subtract 9 from each side. 7y equals 0. So y is equal to 0. So when my y is 0, I'm going to find what my x is. Well, my y is 0. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3, so my x is 3. I can also solve by elimination. This is best if one can be canceled out easily. So if you look at this example, you see how we have negative 2 and a positive 2? Those will cancel out. And we're going to add 8x equals 16. That canceled out. So divide by 8. X is equal to 2. Then you have to take it and put it back in. So when my x is 2, 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2y equals 8. Subtract 10, negative 2y equals negative 2, so y is equal to 1. That would be my answer. Okay? Now, this one doesn't have anything that can cancel out right away, but these aren't very far off. Okay? So what is different? Well, this would be nice if it had a 2 here, because it would be positive and negative 2. I can make it that way if I multiply everything in here by 2. Because if I do that, I'm not changing the equation. So my first equation is 2x plus 6y equals 20. I didn't change yet. But I'm going to multiply each one of these by 2. So I have negative 2x plus 10y equals 12. Now I'm going to do just like here. Those are going to cancel. 16y equals 32. Divide by 16. Y is equal to 2. Now, the important thing is I manipulated this one. So I want to plug this back into one that I haven't touched. So 2x plus 6 times 2 is equal to 20. 2x plus 12 equals 20. 2x equals 8. X is equal to 4. So my answer, my x is 4 and my y is 2. Okay? That's the third way that we can solve. Here's going over the process of using the graphing calculator. You must know your steps, both into slope-intercept form. Y equals, put in your equations. Going to hit the trace, and then you're going to make sure you can see the intersection point. Press second trace, and number 5, the intersection. When it says first curve, press enter. When it says second curve, press enter. Then press enter again. Write down the ordered pair. Solve this system of equations. Pause your video and solve. Notice how that I solved this one using my calculator. This should have been your answer. I want you to solve both of these. Pause your video. Here are your answers. What happens when you can't see the intersection point when you press trace? If you can't see the intersection point when you press trace, then you're going to have to zoom. You are going to press zoom and 3 to zoom out. To reset the graph, press zoom. Select 6 to be standard. Try these problems on your own. Let me know if you have any questions.